Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are going to be going over what I feel is the most important part of your floating floor when it comes to the longevity, and that is going to be the locking mechanism. Today we're going to take a look at 3 different locking systems. 2 are going to be the most common on the market, and that is going to be the drop and lock installation system and the Easy Click installation system. However, the third we're going to be taking a look at is what I feel is going to be the best on the market, and for those companies that are using this locking system, kudos to you. This is the best you can do. It is the Uniclic locking system. Once again, guys, for longevity, this is where we're going to want to go, and we're going to jump right in. Once again, this is Jared with TL Floor and Design. Jumping right in, we're going to start with the Easy Click system, and it's going to be exactly how it sounds, guys. This is easy. This is going to be DIY friendly. So what we're going to look at is we're going to take the male end, we're going to stick it into the female end on the long edges. Make sure that's nice and flat. We can tap the edges in, tap it in to make sure that this is going to be nice and tight. We're going to take the second piece, we're going to drop it in just like we did on the first one, and then we're just going to drop this down right here, and then what we're going to do is we're actually going to snap these 2 pieces together. I'm not going to complete it because it's going to be too hard to take apart once I do, but you can see it gets flat here. Up here, basically I would repeat the same tapping until it becomes flush. This is going to be probably the easiest install. However, the drawbacks are definitely going to be there's going to be no pressure points to hold anything together. This is just going to be sitting there. It's going to lock in, but not totally. And we're going to move on after this, guys. Second locking mechanism we're going to look at today is going to be the drop and lock. This is going to be a very similar install to the Easy Click. If you look at them closely, you're not going to be able to tell too many differences between the two. What you are going to get is a simple ease of installation. So once again, we're going to put the female end into the male end. Then we're going to give it a few taps, make sure that this is going to be locked already. And then we're going to drag in the second piece, get that in there. Come on now. And then we're going to drag it over and we're going to drop it down. And once again, we're going to be tapping this. You should hear a click. It should lock together. Once again, this is going to be full on for ease of installation and definitely a DIY friendly product. But once again, nothing's going to be holding it together over the long run, right? These are just going to be tapping right into place and that's it. All right, here we are, the grand finale. This is what I feel is the best locking system on the market. This is the Uniclick or Unilin system. Now, this is a locking mechanism that is been provided by Mohawk, and they actually hold the patent to it. So any other floor you see that holds the Uniclick or Unilin sticker, they are actually paying Mohawk to use their locking system. Why? Because they also feel it is the best around. So they're going to take extra care of their customers. They're going to pay Mohawk to be able to use their installation systems. So right off the bat, guys, this is going to be a more difficult install. I don't want to say it's impossible or anything, but it is going to have a couple of things to it. There's going to be 2 methods. So first, we're always going to want to lock this in similar to the others. And we're going to want to tap this guy in. And guys, this is going to be a little more difficult, probably not the way, because we're going to be doing this on the floor, up on the table here. It's not as simple, especially with the Uniclick systems. Let me just get these guys laying flat here. At least there we go. Okay, so that's locked in. So there's going to be 2 methods to this. The first is we can drop this guy in here and then bring it back to here. Then we're going to want to make sure these kind of fold in between. This guy goes into here, and we're actually going to take our tapping block, and we're not going to do it on camera today, guys, but you're going to tap it from the end over here and knock it back until it locks together, and then we're going to hit all of our seam. The other installation method is very similar to this, but we're going to put in the long end first, and we're going to get it as close as possible, and then you're going to drop this edge over here. We're going to pull it up, and we're going to be able to slide or even hit this back a little bit to where it locks into place, and then we're going to drop it all together. So there's definitely an extra step when it comes to this. Once again, we're up on a table. It's just going to be too difficult to show you guys how it actually goes in. But this is going to be a locking mechanism that's going to have some pressure to it, right? So basically, when it goes in, it's actually going to put pressure on it. It's going to open it up and slip right in, and that's going to actually hold some tension to the floor. This is going to be the only locking mechanism where the seams are actually trying to push themselves together as opposed to pulling apart. Once again, guys, hats off to Mohawk. They definitely know what they were doing when they created this system. This is going to be very important to your flooring. There's also going to be some caveats to thicknesses and how heavy and how dense our materials are, but we'll put a link in the video to show you guys some other videos we've done going deeper into the core of the material versus the locking system together. And there you go, guys. Uniclick, definitely #1 when it comes to our locking systems. And then below it, we're gonna see Easy Click and Drop and Lock. Those are gonna be okay, definitely DIY, but they're not gonna have nearly the longevity of the Uni Click system. Thanks, guys.